Okay, here's your homework problems for 1.1 in geometry. So let's get at it. So we are looking at number 1, name 4 points. So we can say D, A, B, C, or E. So there's 5 points there. S and T are not points. S and T are names of the plane. So it says name 2 lines. So number 1. Number 2, 2 lines, you would say like this, B, C. Or you could go the opposite direction, C, B. I'm not going to say that again. And you could say D, E, or ED. And there aren't any other lines drawn. Now, technically, there's a line through C and D, but it's not drawn, so don't label those. Number 3, name the plane that contains points A, B, and C. So a plane has to have 3 points. The plane A, B, and C is plane S. Number 4, name the plane that contains points A, D, and E. That would be plane T. All right, let's go on to the next slide. Number 5, give 2 other names for line, that's a line WQ. So 2 other names, you could say QW, or you could say line G, lowercase g for the line. Number 6, same thing, give another name for the plane V. So there are a whole bunch of different ways we could do this. There needs to be 3 points, but all 3 cannot be in a line. So plane RQT, you could have said plane QTS, and plane TQS. You could rearrange those letters, but don't use F. F represents the line. All right, number 7. Name 3 points that are collinear on the same line. So R, Q, and S are all on the same line. F is not a point. You cannot say GWQ because G is not a point. So those are the only possibilities. 8, name a point that is not coplanar with R, S, and T. Not coplanar with R, S, and T. The only other point there is W. R, S, and T are on this plane. Point W is not on that plane. Next slide. What is another name for BD? This is a segment, BD. Another name would be DB. Number 10, what is another name for AC? It's a segment, AC. So you would say CA. Don't use E, because C and A have to be the endpoints. What is another name for a ray, AE? Well, AC, ray, AC. Number 12, because E is in AC, okay? Number 12, name all rays with endpoint E. So all the rays with endpoint E, okay? Or starting point E. So you could say EA, EB, EC, you could say ED. Number 13, name 2 pairs of opposite rays. Again, EA, they have to have the same starting point or end point. EC, those are opposite rays. Also, you could have said EB is opposite to ED. And number 14, name 1 pair of rays that are not opposite. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of things here. So EB and EA are not opposite. Those are the obvious ones. Also, you could have said EC and ED, but I'll do an obscure part here. If you said AE, that is not opposite of CA. Even though they're going opposite directions, they have to have the same beginning point. Next slide. Describe and correct the error. So number 15, these are the most important problems. Opposite rays. They were trying to name opposite rays. They said AD and AC. Well, those are not opposite. So opposite of AD, so use the first thing they given, is AB. If you used AC, then you'd have to say AY or AE. Number 16, YC and YE are opposite rays. YC and YE are opposite rays. And those would be opposite rays, except notice they use segment bars. So that's what they did wrong when they said this problem. So you'll miss that if you use the wrong notation. Okay, let's go to the next set. Number 17. Plane P. You're supposed to sketch these things. So 17. Plane P and line L intersect at one point. So we draw a plane, and this is plane P. And we're just going to draw a line that comes down and hits, this would be line L, hits plane P, intersects it, and goes through underneath it. So that's 17. Number 18. So number 18 is plane K. So there's plane K. And line M, and they intersect at all points on line M. So that means line M must be inside the plane. 19. You have ray AB and line AC. Okay, a couple different ways you can do this. So we can just draw A here and B, and you can put C here. So line AB, you have ray AB, and you also have line AC. You also really probably should have drawn it like this. So you have A, you have C, there's line AC, and then you have ray AB like that. It doesn't say they have to be on the same line. A couple different ways you could have drawn it. All right, so number 20. Ray MN and ray NX. Okay, so we have to have M, and it's a ray going through N. Okay, so there you can have ray MN, even though it's on a line here, it doesn't matter. And you have ray NX. So again, you could put X on that line on the right side of N, or you could put it like this. Another way to draw it is you have an actual ray, MN, and then a ray NX, like that. Okay, and you could draw a couple other different ways as well. All right, so 21, plane M and ray NB intersecting at point B. Okay, so let's draw our plane. So this is plane M. And we have a ray that's intersecting the plane at B. So this will be B. So here we have N is the starting point of the ray, coming down and hitting plane M at B, and going through and continually going through at that point. 22. Plane M and ray NB intersecting at point A. Okay, so it's the same type of thing. So plane M, we have ray N hitting at point A and going on. Okay, now it's ray NB. So B could be either between N and A, or it could be after the A. So that's just the better way to draw those. 23, plane A and plane B not intersecting. Okay, so we're going to draw this the exact same parallelogram, except the one behind it has to be parallel, has to be dotted. There, it looks like two papers on top of the other. So that's plane B, plane A. They do not intersect because they are parallel. 24. Plane C and plane D intersecting at a line. So this is what we did in class. We could draw a parallelogram here. And I'll do a different color for this ray. It goes through the other side. And it makes this line where they intersect. And that would be XY. So plane C and plane D intersect at a line XY. Okay, next one. 25. Name a point that is collinear with points E and H. So here's points E and H. Collinear means they're on the same line. So this would be the line that contains E and H, so J would be the answer to number 25. Okay, so now let's do number 26. Name a point that is collinear with points B and I. So here's B and I, the line, so C would be the answer for being collinear. Okay. All right, next, 27. Name a point that is not collinear with E and H. So here's E and H, and any point that is not on that line, any of those points, A, B, so A, B, I, C, D, G, and F, those are all possibilities. Okay. 28. Name a point that is not collinear with B and I. Okay, so here's the line that B and I are on. And again, A, D, F, E, J, H, and G. Those are not collinear with B and I. All right, so we erase that and go to the next question. 29. Name a point that is coplanar with points D, A, and B. So the plane DAB would be this top of the box. So name a point that is not on the top of the box. Okay, name a point. Oh, that is coplanar with DA and B. All right, so it has to be on the top of the box. So DA and B, so I and C are the answers for the points that are coplanar with DA and B. And 30. Name a point that is coplanar with points C, G, F. So the plane C, G, F. C, G, and F. That would be the back of the box. So name a point that is on the back of the box besides C, G, and F. That would be B and I. All right, 31. 31 is name the intersection of plane AEH. So AEH is the front of the box. And plane FBE. That would be the side of the box. So where do they meet? They meet at this corner, line AE. Or you could call it a segment. I'll take AE the line, even though it's not drawn, but either one of those is fine. 32. Name the intersection of plane. Go back to 31. So, since it's saying a plane and a plane intersect, remember planes go on forever. So the proper answer is really line AE. So be careful when you're reading this. I'm not going to count it wrong if you said segment AE, because that's what's in the picture. All right. 32. Name the intersection of plane BGF. Let's erase this stuff so we can see it. So BGF. Name the intersection of BGF. So here's B, F, and G. Okay. And then you have H, D, G. H, D, and G would be the right side of the box. So you have the back of the box and the right side of the box. Their intersection, again, is going to be this line CG. So again, the proper way, since we're talking about planes, is going to be the line CG. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, now we have 33. In exercises 33 and 34, use the diagram. Name 2 points that are collinear with P. So collinear, here's the line that has P on it. So K and point N. 34, name 2 planes that contain J. 2 planes that contain J. So let's erase this part. Point J is right here. 2 planes that contain it would be the ceiling plane, which is JKL. That's a plane. Plane JKL. and plane, the plane that's the front wall here, J, and just pick another set, JPQ, JPQ. You have other letters there you can explain. So this plane and this plane, those both contain letter J. All right, now let's go to number 35. When two trucks traveling in different directions approach an intersection at the same time, one of the trucks must change its speed or direction to avoid a collision. Two airplanes, however, can travel in different directions and cross paths without colliding. Explain how this is possible. Well, in this picture here, this is two-dimensional. They're on the same plane. You have two airplanes, one that's in this airspace at, let's say, 3,500 feet. So here you have this airplane. Okay, and then you have another airplane flying at 10,000 feet. And he's going this direction. Okay, so there's two airplanes going different directions. They're not going to hit because they're at different levels. But in the picture, that's two-dimensional. All right, next. Number 37. Name the geometric term modeled by the part of the object indicated with an arrow. Okay, so that would be a point. 38 is a plane. A TV is a plane. 39. This is a string coming out of a yo-yo, which makes a straight line. And 40 would be an intersection, or again, we could call a point because that's all we've been doing so far. But truly, it looks like it's just the point that it's talking about. 41 in the diagram. Name all the points that are not coplanar. So first of all, we have to identify the plane, NKL. NKL, so the top of the box. So we want all the points that are not on the top of the box. So we have Q, R, S, and P. 42. The plane is PQN. So P, Q, and N. So here we're talking about the front of the box. Again, not at the front of the box. That'd be K, L, S, and R. And again, those could be in any order. 43. Let's look at the next plane. Next plane is PQR. So we have P, Q, and R. So that's the bottom of the box. That's the plane they're talking about. All the other points are N, K, L, and M. And the last question, number 44, RKN. So we have R, K, and N. So we're dealing with the left side of the box. The points that are not in that plane would be L, M, P, and S. So there you have the video for day one homework. Hopefully you did a good job, and hopefully that helps.